Hey coaches, welcome back to Football Talk with Coach Chip. The topic of this video is part 2 of the preview of the Jet Manual. The Jet Manual is here, 200 plus pages, all to do with Jet, except for one section that I explain the offense, how we get into different formations, how we go fast, how we can do other things besides Jet with simple calls. But that's just a brief part of it. Everything else, hardcore Jet, plays off Jet, why to use the Jet, benefits of the Jet, all things you can do, all things Jet. But before we get into it, got an opportunity to help support Football Talk with Coach Chip. buymeacoffee.com/Coach Chip. I've had a couple guys do it. Apparently it's easy. All you do is go to this website, buymeacoffee.com/Coach Chip, to support Football Talk with Coach Chip YouTube channel and the podcast, which, by the way, got a new one dropping every Saturday at midnight. There are over 200 videos on the YouTube channel. There are literally dozens of free resources available to subscribers of Football Talk with Coach Chip. So if you want to show your appreciation, and I don't drink coffee, buy me a drink, you go right ahead. If not, they're going to keep being free, and they're going to keep being out there for you. Don't forget the podcast. Like I just said, every Saturday at midnight, or Sunday at midnight, depending on how you look at it. When it gets to the straddle of Saturday and Sunday, that's when a new one is dropping. Got 3 done this past week. They're up there in the hopper. Got one dropping as I do this video. It is August the 10th, a Saturday, 2024. Tonight at midnight, I got one dropping with Nigel Hadley. He is the head football coach of the University of East Anglia in the UK. He's not an American that went over there like Mike Leach did to Finland. He's an Englishman. Fell in love with the game back in 1974. Check that podcast out. Then I got the next 2 are with Mike D, the referee from New Jersey. It was so good. We just talked and talked and talked. I couldn't dump any of it. I just made it into 2 episodes. Not because I'm lazy, just because it was good. Hey, don't forget, summer freebie is summer practices starting across the fruited plain. Most of y'all are already going. As we do this, I'm going to start this week. I didn't know people started that late. But summer freebie, sample practice schedules. This includes different install plans and an in-season 3-day week. All you got to do is hit me up and say, hey, Coach Chip, can I get the sample practice schedule? And it is a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. I send you the file, and then you can take it and plug in the cells. It's set up, by the way, and I've had a lot of questions about this. It's set up for 5-minute periods, but you depend on how you want to do it. I've got it for 1 platoon, so the practice is split, offense and defense and special teams. Then I have it for 2 platoon. No matter what your needs are, this is a good resource, 100% free from Football Talk with Coach Chip. Let's talk about the Jet Manual. What we're talking about today is things you can do off of Jet motion, things you can do faking Jet, things you can do with Jet action. We're not going to get into play action pass. I know this first one on the slide here. By the way, all these slides straight from the manual. All I do is screenshot them and build the presentation. And of course, the Jet Manual comes with explanations to go along with the diagrams, tons of video. That's one of the pluses of making it an ebook. The videos are built into it. You can't get that with a book made out of trees. Also, it's got who to block, how to block on the Jet. I break down every block, all the different ways we've blocked Jet over the years. How should the tackle reach the play side DN? Or if you're doing it with a tight end, how should the tight end, how should the H, the wing, the F, the plug, whatever you call him in your offense, how should he, what I call stalk reach, that outside backer, that overhang, that apex player, if you will. I also have slides explaining how we eventually started stalk blocking. And it's really good. We get in and break it down and tell you exactly how to, we taught stalk blocking, and it was the best thing. I hate that I learned it so late in my career. We talk about how we block it on the backside if we're trying to run the access like you see on this slide. And we talk about how you can full reach it, how you can pull the guard, the play side guard. I had a coach email me the other day, said some of the guys on his staff were balking at pulling the play side guard versus a 3-tech, didn't think you could do it. And you can't do it if you don't have timing. Now, if you don't give a crap about the timing, yeah, you need to reach the 3. If you're going to snap the ball and that joker's way over here and the quarterback's going to hold it for a hot minute while the jetter's still coming, you better block everybody on the front side. You probably block some people on the back side. But if you get the timing down, using the jet drill, whole section devoted to the jet drill, go into more detail than I have on the videos that we've done on jet drill. Tells you how to set it up and why it matters. Why putting a fast, twitchy kid right here and running his butt up the field matters to get that timing down. And the timing is what matters because it means you don't have to block as many people. You say, well, I don't want to invest that much time. You get it installed. Take you about 10 minutes a day to get it installed for a few days. Once it's installed, 5 minutes a day. We never practiced jet in our 11v11 time because we got jet. Now, we would script it into scrimmages, but we're just working 11v11 in practice. We didn't waste reps on jet when we just did a 5-minute jet period doing nothing but jet for 5 solid minutes, one play after another, 2 groups going in opposite directions. Because you're getting your reps in there. And that's how you get away with it. And I believe that's in the practice schedule, the sample practice schedule you get for free just by contacting me at siegel.chip@gmail.com. The backside access, this is how you keep them honest. And I've had coaches ask me, why do you care about this guy if you're running over here? That's kind of counterintuitive, and it kind of goes against, my old principle of putting players in a bind, putting them in conflict. No, it's not affecting the play here, but it's protecting your counter, which is coming up. If you allow them to bring this guy down here and run here or bump inside, when they get that jet motion, all 3 linebackers bump. I don't care how fast your guard is if you pull him. If he gets out here, he's not going to catch that guy if that guy's lined up here. He'll get this guy that bumps over into the mic spot. But you can't let this guy bump in here. You can't let him bump right in here. You won't have what you need for your counter. Okay? You can still block counter now if they bump everybody over because you'll have numbers and you'll get it. But then your jet's screwed because you got a guy right here. They got a bonus player on the jet side. You got to make those jokers guard grass. And that's what this backside access does. We never threw it that much. We threw it just enough. I'm telling you, 3-4 times a year. After we put it in at the end of the 15 season, it was the last game of the season. But then in 16, we ran it 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 times in 14 games. In 17, 15 games, maybe 3 or 4 times. Once you get that joker, that backside slant on film, you ain't got to run it all the time. You just got to show a willingness to hum that joker in there. Backside wide receiver screen. Now you can read it, pre-snap read it. We don't read the jet post-snap, ever. That's in the manual. It tells you why. You can pre-snap it and just tag this guy right here because his block really doesn't matter on the jet. So what you do is you tag it, telling him he's going to bang that guy so the quarterback can catch the ball, take a step, and throw it out here to your wide receiver. And then he gets out here and kicks the corner. That's if that backer is coming in here. Because once he comes in here, he's done. We tried doing it every play and giving the quarterback the option to pre-snap this with kids going both ways. We were killing this tackle. Because as much as we ran jet, and instead of him kind of getting the play off, just having to base block this guy, just stay in his way, him having to do a 20-yard sprint every time we ran jet, then turn around and play defense. So we just let him drive right here, and we had a call, a signal. We would give it to the O-line coach, and he would give him the signal, hey, you're going to bang and go. And it didn't mean we were going to run it. And what was really cool about it, we didn't have to throw it, because a savvy D coordinator looks and says, wait a minute, they ran that tackle out there? Hang on, hey, bro, stay home. They're going to come back and throw a screen on us in a little bit. And he'll stay there, and you're getting what you want. You're making that backside backer cover grass. Of course, you got the counter. This is GH. I love the GH counter off jet simply because it's an athlete, a better athlete than the tackle that's pulling. And also you're getting a block on this guy. So if they're reading hats, right, he's not screaming down the line when that tackle pulls on a GT, which you can run GT. And that's in the jet manual too. There are video clips of us GHing it and GTing it. But I really like the GH because you take care of the end. And I highly recommend reading this guy right here on the counter. Again, if your quarterback's really good, you can post-snap RPO this deal, because the quarterback's not really faking jet. He's catching the snap, he's shuffle. Don't even put the ball out there. Don't give the Z a chance to knock it out of your hands. I tell the quarterback, you know you're not giving it, so you're responsible for ball security on a jet fake. I don't care how fast or how close that Z gets to you. You know you're not giving it to him. So you're responsible for ball security. And the Z is going to fake the jet. This is we used to use this term in the wing T days. It's a proximity fake. Just being close enough and letting Z fake his fanny off through the line of scrimmage. And the quarterback can be shuffle, eyeballing this guy post-snap. And if this guy is coming hard here where he can blow up your counter, you just step back and throw your slant. If this guy's bumping inside to take away our numbers advantage on the counter, or really it's not advantage, it's just hat for a hat. But if he's allowed to play in here, they're +1. So again, this guy here, the backside linebacker, really matters on jet, believe it or not. So you can post-snap it if you got a savvy quarterback, just like you would post-snap on any counter, because that's all it is. It's just a counter. Tell your quarterback, he's just got to do the shuffle to the play side, to the jet side, Tailback's going to take his jab step, let the Z clear, come back across the quarterback's face almost like a buck. And so what it looks like, a delayed buck. And then on the videos, you're going to see our guys take some fancy nat steps, which we did that because it got it time up right. And we kind of made fun of ourselves a little bit in coaches' meetings when we first saw it on film. We thought it looked good, or it got the job done. So anyway, flash fake, let the jetter do the faking, stick it out in the tailback's belly as you're reading this guy right here, and you got an RPO off the jet. All right, here's the GT I tell you about. In my opinion, don't run GT against an odd front, especially against a 4-eye. Now, this is an even front because that H is going to have a booger of a time digging out that 4-eye, where the tackle can dig him out pretty good. But if against the 5, the H can get in there. Now, if he's one of those guys, I'm going to stop jet, you just arc release him right here for his stalk reach. And that's what we did it 90% of the time, maybe more. And this guy never chased the jet. Never chased the counter, because he was chasing the jet, because you got the jet action and the H releasing out here. So even if he doesn't widen, he's not going to squeeze most of the time. It's been now, if you're playing against a team that's sure enough good at reading hats, he's got to get his butt down in there and dig him out. And this is one of my favorites. If you got a quarterback that you don't mind running in off tackle, you don't have to be Tim Tebow, but a good, tough, hard running kid. You can run true power right here and let him kick. If it's a team that this guy's really playing the jet, you don't even have to block him. Now you'll see film in the jet manual of us arc releasing the H and us arc releasing the running back, tailback. That's why it's a T in our offense. We called him a tailback. It's a carryover from when we were under center. It was just at the time it was easy because we transitioned to it, because it was the same kids that had played the year before under center. And we just never changed it. That's why some of my stuff may look weird, or you may ask, why did you call it that? Just because it was a carryover. That's why. And so what we would do on this, you would catch the snap, always snapping at the same point. That's in the book too. Where is the snap point? And by the way, the snap point is different for under center. That's explained in the manual as well. Right here, shuffle, shuffle, coming downhill, hugging the down block right there, not getting out here wide. I'll tell you now, if this guy doesn't squeeze at all, but just kind of plays flat-footed looking for the jet, or if he runs upfield like this, straight upfield, no squeeze, or widens, you don't have to block him. But again, that gets back into reading the jet, and we don't read the jet. Now, you can base it on previous performance and on films. Hey, we ain't got to block this guy. This guy here is not going to want to get reached. He sees jet motion, his first step. If he takes one step outside, I think he's screwed. Now, this was my preferred quarterback power, and we did what we call our gut block. By the way, we do have that available as a free resource, how we run the gut. What my buddy Kenny Simpson calls it belly in his offense, for those of y'all that know about his shotgun wing T stuff. This is what he calls belly. And I love this because you get more hats to the party. You'll see several clips of us doing it this way. We pretty much evolved to in 17, 18, and after that, this was primarily how we ran quarterback power. We blocked it like gut. It hits a little tighter versus a three-tech than it would say versus an odd front. But it's a great play. And look, you can get a lot of people to the party. You'll see one where we wrapped the guard, led with the tailback, and wrapped the H. We made a simple call. We made a call, and they knew it. So you had 3 guys lead blocking on this. You're talking about something nasty on short yardage, because they've got to honor. If you run jet motion a lot and you run jet a handful of times a game, they've got to honor the jet motion. They can't stand it. All right, so the jet manual is here. This is preview number 2. Contact me at siegel.chip@gmail.com. Contact me today. Also, be sure to go ahead right now, like this video. And if you're not a subscriber, what ails you? Are you touched? Come on, guys. It's free. You won't get spammed. I promise. Okay, you're helping me. It's a free YouTube channel. All I ask you to do is click on subscribe. It's got something to do with the algorithms. It helps us. It helps the channel. It gets it out there to more coaches. It gets it to you, because YouTube, Google, ABC, Alphabet, that owns all of them, they know, hey, you like that. And by the way, well, I don't want them to know that. They already know it. Heck, man, I'll click on a video just because I'm curious what it was, because the thumbnail kind of attracted me to it. And then I start getting crap. Then I don't watch it for but a minute. I say, I don't want to watch this. But I keep getting that crap anyway. You can't stop that. If you're using YouTube, that's going to happen. But this bumps the stuff that you watch to the top of the heap. Subscribe to the channel. Also, our other resources available. The offensive line manual for gap scheme blocking, still selling. I can't tell you how many of those I've sent out this summer. It's the best thing going. Probably as many emails about this, about gap scheme blocking, as anything else combined. Take everything else and combine it. Let's say if 50% is everything else, 50% is on gap blocking, because it's the best thing for small schools where you have limited reps. You got to split your practice 50-50 because your kids are going both ways. And it's the best thing going for sub-varsity football, middle school, junior high, youth leagues, 14 under, 12 under, 10 under, whatever it is you're coaching. Gap scheme's the way to go. The kids are going to know who to block. And if they know who to block, they're going to play faster, they're going to play harder, they're going to be more aggressive. Tentative, unsure people are not aggressive people. When you know what you're doing, you can be more aggressive. And of course, we got our big book of bucks. It's available. Don't forget, I'll help you out. I'm available for deep dives on these concepts or anything else. You want me to help you install it? I've done that for several coaches this summer. I'm doing it in person, if you're not too far away, or Zoom clinics, doing consultations, do phone consultations, video consultations. I got one I'm doing with somebody overseas this coming up week. And we're going to do installs and all that cool stuff. So the Jet Manual is here. This has been preview number 2. Plays you can run with Jet Action. This was a taste. I'm telling you, the manual goes deep, y'all. Don't forget, an opportunity to support Football Talk with Coach Chip, buymeacoffee.com/Coach Chip. Until next time, y'all say it with me. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Be elite.